friends. How are you doing today? And this is the continuation of my horror movie collection. Yes, and listen, somebody sent me a message, and I appreciate your comments. Please comment below when you want. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help my algorithm go crazy, and it helps me out in every way. But I got this message from this person, which I totally respect and understand. And I thought about it, and things started, the wheels were turning. And what she suggested, she goes, I would like to see your horror movie collection on the shelf. Here is my issue. Here is my issue with that. That would be easy. That would be simple for me to do in a way, okay? But unfortunately, when I do these videos, I am also cataloging my collection. So I pull everything down. My video collection goes up to the ceiling in my library, okay? So it goes right up to the ceiling, and in order for me to get the videos, I have to go on a step stool because they're high. And so for me to arrange a camera and stand on the stool and kind of try to go back and explain these things, it's a little difficult. I like watching those videos too, the shelf videos. I like them too, and it would be easier. It would be easier. But me pulling these things down, I'm also cataloging them because as I'm getting older, the Alzheimer's is kicking in, and I can't remember what I purchased and what I didn't purchase. So if it's important for me to catalog stuff, especially when I go to these Dollar Tree runs, when I go, I forget what I got, and then I end up buying like 7 copies of, what's the thing? I got like 4 or 5 copies of, it's not Halloween, it's Friday the 13th, the new one, okay? The Killer Cut. I have like 4 copies of that thing because I every time I see it, I get excited. I'm like, oh, Friday the 13th, the Killer Cut. I gotta grab a copy of that. And I realize when I get home, I already have a copy of that. So now I got that embedded in my head that I already have that, but I have to catalog my collection or else I keep buying things, and some of these things are really expensive, and I keep messing myself. So this is a continuation of my horror movie collection, and let's get to it because I've already talked too much, and this video is going to be like an hour long, and in that case, you guys are going to lose interest. Hit that like button. Anyway, here we go. First movie in the horror collection here, and the continuation is The Monster Squad. Yes, The Monster Squad was released on, what is this company I did this? Olive Films. It's tough for me to get this. They had they released it prior, and I didn't like the version, but if you know what The Monster Squad is, it's every single classic horror movie character is brought back to life, and these kids have to fight Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. They're all back, and they want the amulet. Yes, they want the secret amulet that has to, and the little, when I say little, I don't want to mess up the story if you haven't seen The Monster Squad. Well, they have to find a virgin to read the whole, I guess it's like a poem or something. They got to do a ritual. They got to hold up the amulet, whatever. And it's supposed to suck Dracula back into some kind of porthole in the middle of the world or Earth, or send him back to hell or something. I don't know. He's going someplace. And that's pretty much what the movie's about. But this is just a great classic movie. I'm sure you've seen it. If you're a movie fan, somebody commented the other day, they're like, oh, well, you're a novice. A novice. My friend, listen, I've been watching movies for years. My whole life was pretty much spent sitting in front of a TV or at the movie theater. I would save my nickels and dimes. I would not eat lunch to make sure that I could go to the movies every single day. I am not by far a novice, okay? I am a movie buff, okay? I love movies. I might not be able to tell you who the director and writer was of a certain film or whatever, but you ask me about the movie, some movies I can even quote word for word. That's how many times I've watched these movies. And Monster Squad is a great movie with a bunch of quotes that if you watch this movie, you'll be using them probably for the rest of your life. And it's funny because you watch these movies, they stick into your head, and then you start quoting them, you know, and people are like, wow, that's pretty clever. No, it's not clever. It's The Monster Squad. You haven't seen it. Go pick up a copy. So, Monster Squad, number 1. Let me move this stuff down here. Next movie. This is a trauma release of Blood-Sucking Freaks. Okay, this movie was recommended to me by a person way back in the day. And I'll tell you right now, they said it was grotesque. They said it was disgusting. They said it was all these things about this movie. I watched this movie so many times. It's funny. It's a funny horror movie about this messed up guy, and he's got like this almost like a traveling road show of circus freaks type things going on, but he's killing people behind the scenes. And this is a fun movie, not for kids. This is not a for kids movie. This is an adult movie. Blood-Sucking Freaks. I recommend it. It's a good one. Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare is another good movie. This is one of the newer movies. When I say that, it hasn't been a lot of good new movies in a while. I'm saying this was last year or whatever, and this one was decent. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best movie in the world, but I actually went to go see this in a $2 movie theater with the family, and guess what? It was worth $2. That's what I gotta say about that. So if you haven't seen Truth or Dare, check it out. Don't buy it for a lot of money because it's not that great, but for $2, it's worth it. All right, I want to make sure I'm doing these the right way. This is my Critters collection. Critters. Who doesn't love them some Critters? Critters is the poor man's Gremlins. That's what I'm going to call that. It's the poor man's Gremlins. It came out after Gremlins. It was one of these low-budget type movies, whatever. But I'll tell you right now, extremely entertaining. And it was obviously good enough to do 4 sequels. And then a 5th one came out recently, direct to Blu-ray. And it was okay. I mean, for $10, it was okay. And Critters movies are fun. Listen, you watch a horror movie, you watch a movie like Critters, you watch a movie like Gremlins, don't think too much into it. Don't just put the movie in and enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Everybody's all dissecting things. Don't dissect things. It's about these critters that roll into little balls and shoot these little porcupine things out. And if you get them in your neck, they mess you up. They don't really kill you. They just mess you up. But they do kill. They chew you to death or whatever. And these are good movies. This is good. And I watch these things in the movie theater numerous times. This is one of my 80s classic horror movies that I mean, I don't even know if you classify this stuff as horror movie, but it's in my horror movie collection because, hey, I guess people classify Gremlins as horror movie too, but I don't even consider that to be a horror movie. But Critters collection, this came out from Scream Factory, and it comes with, let me take them out of the box here, so we'll do it very quickly here. You get, oh, geez, that was tough. You get Critters 1 with a bunch of special features from Scream Factory, Critters 2, Critters 3, and Critters 4. And then if you want to, it's up to you. If you love Critters that much and you want to complete your Critters collection, you need to go out and buy Critters Attack. This is the newer one. Out of all the Critters movies, I would have to put this as my least favorite because this one was just a comedy. This was like, there was no fear in this movie whatsoever. It was like a comedy, but it was still worth a watch, and it was still a Critters movie, so it still has to be part of the collection. I'm just looking over there to see if is this really the last one? Yes, it is, because they're not showing, there's, not to give too much away, there's a girl critter, which you never get to see a girl critter or some kind of weird critter thing. In this one, they kind of really pulled on that critter movie. Next one is the Fly Collection by Scream Factory. This I paid a lot of money for, but for some reason now they're at Walmart for like $25. So if you want the Fly Collection, which has the Fly, Return of the Fly, The Curse of the Fly, and the 2 Fly remakes, with the one with Jeff Goldblum, The Fly 1, and the one with Eric Stoltz, The Fly 2. Let me see if I can just throw these out there because you might recognize the cover from back in the day. You know, The Fly 1, Fly 2. The cover art on these things is beautiful. Scream Factory, Shout Factory, man, they care. You know what I mean? You get all new covers of like the original poster art from back in the day that you would have saw if you were going to the movie theater from back in the day, and they put them in this cool little housing so you can keep them protected with a whole bunch of extra features. And if you don't know what the Fly is about, it's about this guy that wants to create teleportation, and for some reason he climbs into the thing and a fly accidentally flies into the machine with him, and their genes are spliced together and he becomes the Fly. The original Fly movie, my daughter's never seen it, but just that, help me, freaks her out. Every time she sees that, hears that, freaks her out. I'm a big fan of the Jeff Goldblum one. I'm a big fan of the Eric Stoltz one. I thought the new Fly movies were great. The original ones, of course, were great. I have never seen, though, sorry, The Return of the Fly and The Curse of the Fly. I have not put those in yet. I got to check them out. But I have seen the original Fly, and I have seen the remakes. And these are good movies, and Scream Factory does a great job. But if you're looking for this thing, don't go out and buy it on the website, because some people are selling for $60. Go to your Walmart. They have them at certain Walmarts. I've seen them on the shelf there, and you can literally get these along with Critters. Okay, that was another one that was hard to get, but now for some reason they've put them out there on the shelves, and we're talking like $25 for this set also, and you get everything the Fly. So if you're a Fly fan, you got to go with that. Next movie is a movie called Devil's Candy. This was recommended by one of the YouTubers. I forgot who it was. It stars the guy from Empire Records. This was a direct-to-DVD, direct-to-Blu-ray. I believe it did some movie showing somewhere in California, whatever. That's where he was when he brought this thing up. But I waited for this thing to come out on Blu-ray, picked it up. Then eventually they had them at Dollar Trees for $1. And then I was kind of kicking myself because like I could have paid $1, but I actually paid like 15 or whatever for this one. This is a good movie though. It was worth 15 bucks. It's worth $1. If you ever see this out and about, going around, and it does have a bunch of special features. It's about this wannabe rock band guy or whatever, and he's a painter, and he goes into this. And go in it blind. I'm not gonna get into the details of the whole thing because this is one of those. I went in it blind and I enjoyed the movie. If I give you too much details, you'll be like, I don't know what that is. It is rated R. It is an adult movie. It's not for the kids, but it's one of those light-hearted R-rated movies. Does that make sense? It's like there's nothing hardcore in this thing, and the story is good. So it's got a good story, and it's very light on the graphics and stuff like that. There's some blood and this, that, but it's not like so over the top where you're like, oh, yeah, it's so grotesque that, don't get fooled by the cover, or the devil's candy, oh, that sounds scary, It ain't gonna scare you. It's actually done really, really well. And the guy from Empire Records, does it have a name on the cover here? Wow, I didn't even give the guy his props here. Let me see. Let me make sure I can do it here. Ethan Embry. Ethan Embry from Empire Records. He was the funny guy from Empire Records. He was also in Can't Hardly Wait. He was my favorite in Can't Hardly Wait. My favorite in Empire Records. He's like all jacked up in this movie though. He does a really good job. This was like one of his like breakthrough solo thing where he wasn't like a co-star. He was a star. All right, next one is a movie called Trick or Treat. And this is a really good one. I am dying to get this thing on Blu-ray because the quality of this thing isn't so great. And if you notice, it's in this weird, I hope this doesn't fall out when I open it. Let me try. This weird DVD cover, okay? And this is the way, you used to be able to pick these movies up at like a Ocean State job lot or Big Lots. They'd be like at the counter or whatever, and you'd pick them up and they'd be like $3.99, and you'd be like, I don't want that stupid movie. But now it's worth a whole bunch of money because it's out of print. And this is actually a good movie. It has Gene Simmons in it. It has Ozzy Osbourne in it. They do cameo appearances in it. They play music DJs or whatever. And it's about this kid. He's being bullied. It's got the kid is from Family Ties, and he's being bullied by bullies. And he ends up what's word I'm looking for? He summons this rock god / devil to come and take care of his problems. And this was a really good movie. I happened upon this back in the day. I am the original owner. I was that guy at Ocean State Job Up. I was like, $3, yeah, sounds good to me. Trick or Treat. What they put, and the funny thing is they put Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne on the cover also to sell it. And they're in it for literally maybe 5 minutes in the whole movie. They play DJs and stuff. There's like an interview with Ozzy, I think, and Gene Simmons plays the DJ on the radio. So you hear him more than you see him. But this was a really good movie. And if you could find a copy, I really wish that somebody would give it a Blu-ray treatment because it deserves it. It's a good one. All right, next one on my shelf, The Uninvited. It looks like I bought this from Blockbuster Video, and it looks like I paid $14.99. I probably didn't pay $14.99. It was probably one of these you buy like 5, get 1 free or whatever. And what do I have to say about this? I don't know, because I can't remember it. It couldn't have been that great. It's from the producers of The Ring and Disturbia. That's all I got on that one. The Uninvited. We'll call this wasn't good enough for me to upgrade the Blu-ray. That's what I'll call that one. And then we have a low budget. Well, this is like okay. Now I have a thing for animal, insect type attack, creature, arachnophobia type movies. This is a movie called Tarantula, The Deadly Cargo. Now listen, my friends, I don't know if this has a Blu-ray release. I got to find out because this is actually really good. This was one of those I paid probably about $3-5 for. It was probably in a low-budget bin thing somewhere, and I was like, okay, well, Tarantula, The Deadly Cargo, I'm going to give that a shot because it's worth $3 or $2 in my life. I have watched this multiple times since I purchased this. This is one of those like ants or whatever, where you put it in and you enjoy it. You enjoy it if you're not afraid of spiders because it's all about tarantulas. And what happens is it starts off really good. There's this cargo plane shipping oranges to this state or whatever, and the oranges are infested with these killer tarantulas. Well, the plane crashes, and the tarantulas end up in this whole... Actually, let me rewind that. They are shipped over... They're flying with coffee beans. Sorry about that. Coffee beans from another country. And the tarantula... Wow, I just slowed down all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on there. And plane crashes, and they end up in a orange... Places that produces oranges. So they're attracted to the food, attracted to the oranges. They end up in this mill, and meanwhile they're all over the place and stinging people and killing people. And if you could find this movie, it's good. It's good. It has the guy from WKRP in Cincinnati in it. It also has the kid from, I want to say, he was young here, from Little House on the Prairie. I want to say that. Okay, so it's Howard Hessman, the guy from Howard Hessman from WKRP in Cincinnati. And I want to slow this down here by reading all the stuff here, but it's got Tom Atkins in it. This was good. If you could find a copy of Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo, good luck, and you'll enjoy it, I'm telling you. All right. Open Water. I didn't upgrade this to Blu-ray either. Why? I like shock attack movies, but these, and supposedly they say these are based on true stories. Well, these are movies about people that I don't know, man. I like these movies to a point, but it's like, I think part 2 was this boat cruise. They go out and everybody decides to jump off the boat, but there's no ladder to get back on the boat. Meanwhile, there's a crying baby on the boat who jumps off a boat not knowing how they can get back on the boat. This one over here, I think it was they're scuba diving, but their scuba diving boat takes off on them and leaves them in the middle of the ocean to get eaten by sharks. But that's what this is. This is I'm eaten by sharks movie, not worthy of a Blu-ray upgrade. That's what I'll call that one. Exorcism of Emily Rose. I didn't upgrade this one because I'm not a big exorcism type movie fan. I'm not a big cult movie fan. I like The Exorcist, but when it comes to these like cultish type movies or whatever, that's probably why I didn't upgrade this. Would be my guess. I gotta recheck this one, and then I'll figure out what my issue is with The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Oh, and there it is. Open Water 2. Adrift. This was the one about the boat, because it's got them on the back there with the boat. Yes, they decide they're going to jump off a boat, leave a baby on board, and not have a way to get back on the boat. So, Open Water, Part 2. These are like in crazy order here. The Lost Boys. I have a video all about the Lost Boys. Look down there somewhere, find it. It's some funny stuff. It's one of my earlier videos. It's good. I'm not going to put the link. You can just look for my videos. It's the one with the Lost Boys on the cover. Lost Boys is one of my favorite horror movies. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. It's just a great classic horror movie. I did a review already. If you're a horror fan, if you're watching this, you made it this far, you know what the Lost Boys are. And is available on Blu-ray. And I don't know if it's available on 4K yet. But if it is available on 4K, I'm going to have to pick that up eventually. Here's a copy of the movie Pieces. This was a movie that, when I was younger, my cousins kind of forced me to watch. I had these cousins, and they were like, "You got to see Pieces or whatever. This is a great movie or whatever." And I watched it, and it was something. It was something. And this is a special release. I was a little upset because supposedly it comes with the soundtrack for Pieces. I thought this was pretty cool how they put this together. And it comes in a little slipcover thing there, like so. And then you open it up, and it's got a booklet and all kinds of stuff like this. But I ordered mine from somebody, and it was supposed to come with a puzzle, a Pieces puzzle. I did not get the Pieces puzzle. Do I feel like my life is empty? A little bit. But I'm always on the lookout for the Pieces puzzle. The Pieces puzzle is actually a puzzle of this nude woman, and the killer in this was trying to put together the puzzle by collecting body parts of girls that he would kill and then stitch them together, kind of like a puzzle. And meanwhile, throughout the movie, he's putting together this dirty puzzle that he found. I want to say it's from his father or whatever. It's something. It's something. Next movie, The Box. Did not upgrade this one either. I seen this once. Is this a James Madison, Frank? Okay, Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz made the top line there. PG-13. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. If you've seen the box, you kind of know what it is. The guy shows up with this box. He puts it on the table. Press the button, something's gonna happen. But if I remember correctly, it's like if you press this button, somebody is gonna die. But then you get you get your wish. It's one of them type situations. I think. If I remember, like I said, the Alzheimer's is sinking in. You know, too much icy hot in the brain on top of medication. You know, but yeah, The Box starring Cameron Diaz, horror movie. Yeah, I'd say yeah. Firestarter 2-pack. This is still no, it's not factory seal. Like open down the bottom, but it comes with Firestarter and Firestarter 2 rekindled, rekindling a fire. Yeah, there we go. First one, great movie, starring Drew Barrymore, one of her best or whatever. Telekinesis, the father's got telekinesis, the mother had telekinesis. She's got this power to be able to bring fire out from out of nowhere. Her hair just flows or whatever, and fireballs go flying out and they're killing people, whatever. But people are after her because she has a special talent. The father has a special talent. Of course, the government wants to use that talent for evil because that's what the government does. That's what this movie's about. And the first one was great. Second one, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to rehash it in my mind. But the funny thing is, you look at the back of this thing, and they actually have two pictures, and it looks like Malcolm McDowell's in the second one. I don't remember the second one that well, but Malcolm McDowell looks like he's in the second one. But the classic is still a classic. I bought this at Walmart. Wow. But I have Firestarter on Scream Factory on Blu-ray, so that's why that's been sitting there. And let me see if I can get these in order here. All right. Anaconda. Haven't even opened this yet because I have it on DVD and I haven't watched it since I bought it. I paid $1.25 for this. It says it right there. $1.25 at Big Lots. Worth every penny. Ice Cube, what's her name? Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, John Voight. This was a great movie. Okay, the first Anaconda. Has CGI Anaconda, but a decent CGI. For some reason, when they do the first movies, like what's the other one? I'm looking over there because forget it. Lake Placid. The first Lake Placid, really good. Other ones after that, the CGI just kept going down and down and down. Same thing with Anaconda. Anaconda 1, you get a decent movie. Anaconda 2, you get something else. And Anaconda 3, you don't really care about the Anacondas by part 3. Part 2, I mean, if you're an Anaconda fan, I mean, comment below that. I might be wrong, but you really only need one Anaconda in your collection, and this would be the one. These, I don't know. That's what I gotta say about that. Whew. Okay. Next movie in the collection is a movie called Terrifier. Terrifier, the beginning of Art the Clown. No, because they released All Hallows Eve, which also stars Art the Clown. So, Art the Clown is like a, okay, so this is like a B-type movie, direct to Blu-ray. I don't have a DVD. I don't know if it ever went in the movie theater. I heard about it. I saw the clown. I was like, wow, that Art the Clown, man, he looks like something else, man. This guy, and for some reason it appeared around the same time as It. So I was like, I got to get me a copy of Terrifier. Got me a copy of Terrifier, enjoyed the movie, and I was like, okay, well, and come to find out that Art the Clown started in these films, these All Hallows Eve, which is almost like a creep show type setup with these little type short stories and stuff like that. So if you have Terrifier and you're a fan of Art the Clown, you need to go get All Hallows Eve, which was available on this thing along with Mischief Night, which I don't even think I watched Mischief Night, so I can't tell you what's going on there. But I bought it specifically for the All Hallows Eve because I liked Art the Clown character. I think he's a great addition to the clown killing franchise. Okay, if that makes any sense, he's good. He's good. He's good. You know, I like him. I like what he does. So, Terrifier. Next one is a 2-pack, which I'm going to have to be retiring, I'm guessing, this 2-pack, because I already own 13 Ghosts on Blu-ray from Scream Factory, and I have House of Wax coming in from Scream Factory also on Blu-ray. So why did you do that, my friend? Why did you go out and buy 13 Ghosts and House of Wax when you already own it on Blu-ray.
Why?
Because it's Scream Factory, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of bonus features and probably some alternate versions and probably some deleted scenes and stuff that are not available on here. This does have special features for both films on here, but it's not going to be as much as what you get on Scream Factory, because Scream Factory, they give you everything they possibly can. So I will be retiring that once the House of Wax comes in. Next movie I paid $5 for. Haven't opened it up. I have watched it. Don't remember it. House at the End of the Street, which I always get confused with the last house on the left. Why? Because house is in the title. So every time my kids are like, oh yeah, the House on the End of the Street movie was really good. I'm like, you can't watch that. That movie was disturbing and messed up. You've never even seen that movie. Yes, we have. We watched House at the End of the Street. And I argue with them all the time about this because they're like, yes, we've seen it. And they have seen it. Because this one right here is, does it have the rating? It's rated PG-13. And this is the one that they've seen. They did not see Last House on the Left because I would not let them see that. I don't care how old they are. I don't want to watch that with my kids. But Last House on the Left is a great movie, but I ain't watching that with my kids. But House on the End of the Street, House at the End of the Street is was decent. It was decent. Okay, then we have from Scream Factory. Nope, this is not from Scream Factory. I'm wrong. It's from Paramount. What is this from? What is this from? It is from Paramount. Okay, this is from Paramount, and this is Pet Sematary, and this is the Blu-ray DVD, and it has more secrets more secrets unearthed. Okay, 7 deleted scenes, extended scenes, and a 90-minute bonus content thing. My wife loves this movie. She absolutely, she thinks the kid's adorable, and she thought the movie was great. Me, on the other hand, I gotta put this in one of my least favorite Stephen King movies. I just maybe because I'm not a big fan of cats. I don't know. Maybe that's what. But I just didn't. I don't know. I love what's his face from the Munsters in this thing. I like the way he talks and the way he acts and everything. But it just didn't. It just didn't do for me what the Part 2 did. Now let me get back to this. Now Part 2 is a Scream Factory release. For some reason Scream Factory did not release Part 1. I don't know why. But they decided they were going to release Part 2, probably because this one's not owned by Paramount. It is Paramount. It says Paramount on the back. I don't know why they didn't give Part 1 the Scream Factory treatment. But it does come with a lot of bonus stuff, a lot of extra stuff. So I'm guessing maybe that Paramount version was good enough. But I watched this over the weekend. This was a good movie. It's good, and it's not. It's one of those horror comedies. Okay, it's a harmony, or a kahara. Yeah, I'm making up words here. Kahara. Or harmony. I like harmony better. Horror comedy. That's what, the arachnophobia can do a thrillamedy. I can do a harmony. It's got some funny stuff going on here. I mean, it's about burying people and they come back to life. And when they come back to life, supposedly it's supposed to be the alternate of what they were. So if you were an evil person when you got killed and they buried you in the pet cemetery, you come back as this nice person. But then it flips the script, and then all of a sudden because you're part zombie and you're thirsting for kills and stuff, you end up killing people or whatever in strange and interesting different ways. Part 2, much better in my personal experience, my personal opinion, better than Part 1. I know a lot of people are going to get upset about that one, but it's my choice. You have your choice. Whoa. And we have Pet Sematary. See what I do there? Okay, so Pet Sematary, why did I buy it? This is a 30th anniversary edition with bonus content. And then I bought Pet Sematary, the not 30th anniversary edition. What's the difference between these two things? Maybe the alternate ending. Yeah, this doesn't have alternate endings and stuff. This was so I bought this one. This one had a bunch of bonus features. That's why I bought this one. And I know in your head you got to be asking this. If you're not a big fan of Pet Sematary movie, why'd you buy them both? Because I'm a collector, and that's what we do. We buy every and any version of whatever we can, especially if it's Stephen King, especially if it's Scream Factory, especially if it's director's cuts or alternate things or different ending scenes. We want to see it all, even if the movie wasn't your total favorite. That's the way it goes. But yeah, I guess I must have bought this one first, and then all of a sudden they hit you with that sticker on the front that says more secrets unearthed, alternate endings, 7 deleted scenes, and 90 minutes of bonus content. Yeah, this one doesn't have 90 minutes of bonus content, so I'll go drop another $15-$20 on something else so I can get that bonus content. Next movie is, let me see. This is what I was thinking about, the ones that I subscribe to and I always looking for them. This one is a Vestron video copy of Maximum Overdrive. And this is a movie that a lot of people hated. They hated the Stephen King movie. This was a Stephen King adaptation of a short story, and they turned it into this movie form thing. And I absolutely love this movie. The soundtrack from this, every song from AC/DC is amazing. I own the soundtrack. It's actually was the Who Made Who soundtrack. And if you have Who Made Who, AC/DC, then you have the soundtrack to Maximum Overdrive, because in the corner of your cassette tape back in the day, or your record, it would say soundtrack from Maximum Overdrive, and it had the cover. It was the AC/DC album. This has a great soundtrack. Emilio Estevez stars in it. It's about it almost reminds me of like a Little Shop of Horrors. Alien kind of type thing comes overhead, and the machines have come to life and they're killing people. Okay, you're being chased down by cars. Vending machines are attacking you. Lawnmowers and electric knives and anything that has to do with electricity is going crazy and killing people. And this, I love this movie. This truck on the cover is iconic. It's iconic. If I knew how to drive a truck and I could buy a truck and I knew where to get a truck like this would be the truck I'd be driving every single day, because I absolutely love this. You see this truck, you know Maximum Overdrive. You're a fan of horror movies, you know Maximum Overdrive. And I don't know why people hate this movie, because this was, to me, very entertaining. I've watched it so many times throughout the years, and I will continue to watch it. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. You know, this was a great movie, and Vestron Video gives you a ton of special features on here. And even on the cover here, it says featuring music by AC/DC. The whole soundtrack's AC/DC. Whether it's a slow song, a fast song, every song was done by AC/DC on here. I even think the background music, like when the characters are walking around or the cars are driving, it was set to AC/DC music. And if you're a fan of AC/DC and you want to get pumped and watch a horror movie, this is a good movie. And if you've never heard of it, find it, look for it, get it. I believe they have them at Best Buy still, and you know, maybe under $20 would be my guess. Maximum Overdrive. Kingdom of the Spiders, starring William Shatner. Yes, Captain Kirk. He did something else besides Star Trek. This was a great. Do you call it a horror movie? It's about spiders. Spiders. These spider mounds popping up all over the place. They're stinging people. They're killing people. They're killing the I was gonna say crops. They're killing the animals, and these people all live in like almost like a desert type area, and they have cows and stuff. They're raising cows and everything. I mean, for some reason, the cattle and everything start dying because all of these spiders are ganging up on them, and like one sting, you know, doesn't kill you, but like a whole bunch of stings will kill you, and they're everywhere, and they're totally taking over the whole town. And it stars William Shatner. This, you know, believe it or not, this used to be like on Creature Double Feature, Channel 56 back in the day, and I have watched this so many times throughout the years, I could probably quote it word for word. And I absolutely love this movie, and this was released by Code Red Entertainment. I have the DVD. DVD was okay. Blu-ray, even better. Does have bonus features, 2K stand, audio commentary, not a lot of stuff. On-camera interview with Tiffany Balling, and a theatrical trailer. It's rated PG. It's kid-friendly if they're not afraid of spiders. Great movie. Misery. Stephen King's Misery. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm not going to go through it. Crazy lady kidnaps a writer, wants him to write a story that he doesn't want to write, and beats the bejesus out of him. That's sums up the whole thing. Okay, and then he finds a way out. Maybe. If you haven't seen it, you'll find out. This is a Scream Factory release, so of course it has a ton of extra features, because Scream Factory, they do that. And we have a copy of The Blob. This is the remake of The Blob, starring Kevin Dillon. Am I get that right? It doesn't say it over here. You know what? I'm not even going to start searching. It's Kevin Dillon. I know it's Kevin Dillon. Matt Dillon's brother. I believe he played the drummer in the Doors movie. That Kevin Dillon. And he stars in this movie. And it's got the other girl. I believe she's from Saw, actually. The girl from Saw. And it's The Blob. the original Blob movie's been out, I think, since the late 50s or 60s or something like that, and it's about this blob that's killing people. It's like it covers you and sucks the air out of you and consumes your body and leaves the bones behind. That's what it does. And this one was really good. It was a Scream Factory release. I did not own it on any other format, so I was happy to get this for my collection. Here's a confusing one for you, my friends. This is one of my daughter's favorite movies. Absolute favorite movies. She loves this movie. She has watched it so many times. She has asked me to watch this movie so many times. I've been able to make it through it maybe once. Listen, I love me a good doll movie. Chucky, Pinocchio's Revenge, stuff like that. But this one, I don't know. The kids loved it. On the other hand, Confusion said it. It's a movie called Dolly, Dearest. So he kind of took that. When I think of Dolly, Dearest, I think of Mommy, Dearest.
Oh, no wire hangers ever!
Number one. Hot stop for a second there. This was released by Vinegar Syndrome. Okay, so it's one of those long lost films that Vinegar Syndrome found and cleaned it up and everything. But it has some awesome art. This is the slipcase on it. Awesome art, and the doll is precious. Okay, I would love to get my hands on this doll. I have looked for years for somebody that has created this doll or made this doll or done a replica of this doll. Now, I don't want to spend $1,000 for the doll either. I'm sure I could probably hire somebody to make me this doll for $1,000. But if I could get it for an Annabelle price, maybe around $300 or $200, I would fork over the $200, $300 for a replica of this beautiful doll. She is creepy and scary in all different kinds of ways. I mean, just from the cover, I can see that she's awesome. Just awesome. And the special effects in this movie, awesome. Done. I had a hard time with the storyline. I had a hard time following the storyline. Now, it's a very basic storyline, but I had a hard time following it. Maybe my attention span is less than my daughter's. I don't know. As I get older, my attention span depletes. Depletes? Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. Comment below if you know where you can get a Dolly Dearest doll. I don't even know what her name is. My daughter would know where her name is. I can't remember where her name is. But this was, like I said, I had a hard time making it through it. But the special effects were excellent. It has practical effects, not before the CGI stuff. This movie's been around for a little while. I believe it was a directed to DVD or direct to VHS back in the day. This would have been one of those that you walked by probably when Chucky came out. You went to go see Child's Play, and you were like, "Whoa, what Dolly Dearest? What's that? Another doll movie, whatever." So they were probably trying to cash in on the doll franchise and release this movie. But like I said, I picked it up just for the cover, and I showed it to my daughter. And for years, since she was little, like maybe 5 years old, she has been watching this movie. And she's now 18 years old, and she continues to watch this movie and absolutely love this movie. So, I mean, I'm not knocking the movie any way, shape, or form. It just wasn't really my cup of tea, but I love the doll. Absolutely love the doll. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful, beautiful doll as far as dolls go. Next movie is a movie called Crawl. Another newer movie. I saw this movie at the drive-in. Great movie. It's the movie has to do with this town or island, is it an island or a town or whatever, that's actually they have a bad storm. So of course the ocean's backing up, and it's bringing alligators actually into the houses and stuff. And her father is stuck in a basement of one of these houses that's being kind of consumed by water, and she's trying to rescue him. But meanwhile, the alligators and crocodiles, I always get them too confused. They both look alike. They're showing up and they're eating people or whatever, and they're trying to get out of this house. And so it's one of those, to me, it was like a nail-biter, edge-of-your-seat type film. I saw it at the drive-in, every movies are memories to me, and I had good memories of being there, my family watching this movie, and I had to buy it just for that reason alone. But the movie itself is actually really good as far as CGI alligator movies go. So, Crawl, good movie. I did another video on these before, so I'm going to go really quick with these. You know what these are. This is the Alien franchise, Alien 1 through Alien 4. Alien movies, classics. I got nothing else to say about that. Prometheus, which is the Alien prequel movie. Not so much of a fan of this one. And then they released Alien Covenant. I went to go see this from the movie theater. They put the alien on the poster. They put the alien in the preview, in the commercial. And then you have to wait till the end of the movie to see a little chunk of alien. A little bit of a letdown, you know. And I'm, like I said, my attention span's not there anymore. So sit through almost a 3-hour long movie, a 2.5 hour movie, whatever it was, and not even see an alien attack anybody. I fell asleep. Literally fell asleep in the movie theater. I brought all 4 of my kids. So I brought all 4 of my kids. I sat there. I fell asleep. I woke up. The movie was done. The kids said it was great. I don't remember it. That's just me. Then we have Zombieland. Yes, this is a comedy, but it's also a zombie movie, and I put it in my in my horror section because it's a horror comedy. And you should know what Zombieland is by now. Zombieland's a movie about zombies. Yeah. And then there was Zombieland 2, which was also a great horror comedy. Zombieland 2. I enjoyed both of these. Either one, I actually prefer 2 over 1. Which, you know, that doesn't really happen that often where you prefer the 2 over the 1. But I preferred part 2 over part 1. I thought they were good movies, but if I want to throw on a movie on a Saturday afternoon, it's gonna be part 2 double tap. That one I thought was just that much better. All right, then we have Wrong Turn 1 through 5. All right, Wrong Turn. Let me see if I can sum this up as quick as possible. Teenagers go into the woods and grotesque, mutated, inbred families are there who eat people because they're turned into cannibals. Because if you go with part 1, that's what happens there. If you go like part 2 and 3, then it's like a nuclear fallout type thing, and they're resorted to like going into caves and stuff. And then if you go like part 3 or 4, whatever, then you get Henry Rollins in there for some reason attacking people because he's making a TV show for the most extreme something or whatever. Okay, so Wrong Turn 1, high budget, good movie. And then the rest of them are watchable. They're watchable and they're entertaining. And if you are a horror fan, you're going to love these movies. You're gonna love them. And then the last one was Wrong Turn 6, which I had to pick up to complete the Wrong Turn collection because for some reason they released this 1 through 5, and then there was some kind of controversy or something about number 6. I don't know what the controversy was. After I get off this thing and I stop recording, I'm gonna look it up and figure out what the controversy was. But I had to get part 6 to finish the Wrong Turn collection, and I got Wrong Turn, the new one, the remake. Well, it's not even a remake. It's from the first guy that made Wrong Turn 1, but he turned it around where I guess it's not cannibalistic inbred family members, whatever. Now it's like more of like a psychological thriller type situation. I have not watched it yet. I have to check it out. Next movie. This was a Mill Creek release of Happy Birthday to Me. This was something. And it stars the girl from Little House on the Prairie, the one that played Mary. She's all grown up and she's doing horror movies. That's what I got to say about that. And there's a bunch of killings going on campus. And we got to find out who the killer is. This is like a horror thriller type situation. I love when I say type situation. I ain't got much to say about it. I mean, it was one of those movies that I probably watched on, I guess, Channel 56 back in the day. Probably came on a Saturday, probably after bowling or whatever, after I was done watching my cartoons, and then I watch cartoons, then Candlestick Bowling, and then you wait a little while, and Channel 56 would do like a creature double feature, but they weren't always creatures. It wasn't every week wasn't King Kong or Godzilla, which a lot of times it was, but they would throw one of these cheesy type horror movies into the mix that were edited for TV, and it didn't make any sense because this was originally rated R, but then when they edit it down, it's just a pile of unorganized stuff, you know, and still enough for a child of age 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 to enjoy. And I did enjoy this movie, and I was happy to get it. Next movie, Hell Night. This is a Scream Factory release. I don't remember this movie. I'm not going to make believe I can remember it because I don't remember. I have to rewatch it. I want to say it was kids go to this haunted house type thing where they're not supposed to be. I bought it because it stars Linda Blair, and I bought it because it's Scream Factory. Anything Linda Blair, I buy. Anything Scream Factory, I buy. Yeah, I can't think of anything Scream Factory I've turned down that I can afford to buy. That's the reason why I bought it. So I just wanted to add to the collection for my Linda Blair collection, and for my Scream Factory collection. Hell Night. I got 3 more, my friends, and if you're stuck in this long, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, because if you sat here this long, then there's a reason for it. You must enjoy what you've seen. Tell me what you've seen. Okay. Next one is a double pack of Village of the Damned and Children of the Damned. This is a DVD release. Why did I get the Blu-ray? I don't even think it's available on Blu-ray. But Village of the Damned was remade with Christopher Reeves. Also released by Scream Factory. Great, great movie. I wanted to see the original. That's why I bought this movie. I wanted to see the original, black and white, Village of the Damned. And I also wanted to see the sequel, Children of the Damned. And that's why I bought it. And I watched them. And this is pretty much a story of, well, the remake is people pass out. They wake up, all of the girls are pregnant, whether they were virgins or not. They all woke up pregnant, and they all gave birth to these weird looking children that all kind of look exactly alike, and were all paired up, boy and girl, for some reason. And they are taking over, well, they want to take over the world. It's kind of alien type stuff. So yeah, I had to buy the double feature because I wanted to see what that was. And then these other 2 probably should have went with my Lost Boys collection. This is the end of my little thing there. So if you've seen Lost Boys, you know Lost Boys. Let me see if I can try to dig down here. If you've seen Lost... What? Am I still going here? Let me see. Okay. Sorry about that. If you have seen Lost Boys, you know that this is a classic horror movie. But then they made a mistake. They did something wrong. In my eyes, they did something wrong. And they decided to do sequels. They decided to do sequels, but not good sequels. I mean, we got Lost Boys The Tribe, and we got Lost Boys The Thirst, both starring Corey Feldman in both of them? Corey Feldman was not starring, but he does almost like a cameo appearance as the Frog Brother. He comes back again. I believe they got the other Frog Brother too in this. Yeah, these... Corey Haim was going through things. The writing on these things was a mess. I mean, they could have did so much. To me, they could have took Lost Boys, the original one. You want to remake Lost Boys? Here you go. Here's my premise for a Lost Boys remake or a Lost Boys sequel. If Corey Haim was still alive and they could have got this together earlier, you could have took Corey Haim. He had kids. He takes his kids to go visit his mother, who now lives in the grandfather's house. Okay? The grandfather's house in Santa Carla is still infested with vampires. There's still vampires there. So he goes back to the town with his kids, and his kids almost do the same thing that he did. He happens upon the vampires, and he needs to go get the Frog Brothers and his father, played by Corey Haim, to go and take care of the vampires once again. There is the premise of your Lost Boys remake sequel if Corey Haim was still alive, with Corey Feldman on board, and they would have had prominent parts in this thing. If my story would have came to fruition, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman would have been big stars again, and the story would have been perfect. To me, that's all that could have been done. That was all that they could have did with the Lost Boys. That would have been amazing to see, you know, him coming back and having kids and have the kid kind of look at the same Corey Haim kind of look about him, whatever, and all of a sudden he happens upon these vampires and they're going to visit. I mean, they have the grandmother, the mother back as the grandmother, and the leader of the vamp. It could have been amazing, but it just wasn't. And they cashed in on the direct-to-DVD things. Of course I bought them because I'm a Lost Boys fan, and I'm a Corey Feldman fan, and I'm a Corey Haim fan. But like I said, Corey Haim, if I remember correctly, he was going through things during the shooting of one of these things. He never made it to the last one. Corey Feldman, of course, cashed in on these things and became the star of them. He made the covers, you know, of these things, and but he's hardly even in it. He's not really the star. It's about something else different. And I'm gonna be honest with you, these are so unrememberable that I cannot even tell you what the tribe or they're about vampires. That's all I can give you about that. And it's just sad that this is how they ended a beautiful classic that everybody absolutely loved. And I think Joel Schumacher, if he's watching this, he should hop on board with my whole concept of the new Lost Boys movie, and I guess you can get maybe a Corey Haim look-alike of some sort to play the part. And with that said, my friend, thank you so much for watching this video. You sat through all of this stuff with me. You listened to my stories. I appreciate you. And I want you to show me that you appreciate me by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to make more of these. I don't even know what shelf we're on or whatever. But I am tired. And I will see you later.